The Community Father of the Year is someone who has made a meaningful impact on their own family and the community. This honoree may be well known for their professional achievements. This recognition celebrates their role as a supportive parent, mentor, and positive influence for future generations. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Addie and Liam Vincent, grandchildren of this year's Community Father of the Year, and keynote speaker, George Vincent.
Hello and welcome. My sister Addie and I would like to introduce this video about our grandpa. Please enjoy.
George and I met in high school. We were sophomores at Detroit Lutheran West. He was really smart. He was really cute. We both ended up going to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. 3 great kids. We were copacetic on the way we were going to raise our kids. Lots of rules, but yet lots of freedom when you were behaving. You know, the first one, he had a lot more rules. Second one, he got a little leeway. And then the little girl came along and she was pretty obedient. Over the years, nothing really changed. I think we just stayed steady with what we expected.
You know, he preferred not that to be tough on you, but Lord knows if you needed it, you get it. So that's done really great for me, because a lot of us need those guardrails in life, someone that puts you in the right direction. He always holds the moral high ground, kind of giving me a good roadmap.
My dad is Coach Vincent. He made sure everybody had a nickname and everybody felt valued and seen. I took a lot of that coaching to heart, just seeing that example of him helping coach me. I've coached sports now for my kids for years.
One of the things that I love so much about him and that I've tried to take on with my own family is my love of reading. And no matter how busy the day was, we'd sit down and read books together every night. And that's something that I just will cherish forever.
When he said he was going to do something, he did that. And you could count on that. That reliability was one of his hallmarks.
Anywhere there was anything historical, he'd pull over and read the plaque. You know, at the time you hate it, but now I'm independently reading Civil War books and things like that myself.
My dad as a grandfather is far more permissive than he ever was as a father. The amount of pop that my children get when they're around him is insane.
Some of my favorite things to do with my grandpa is play with the toy soldiers.
I love like playing board games with him. He usually wins, but that's because he's been playing them for like all his life.
Well, George's dad was really involved in his community, and I think that was a lesson for George. Our kids always saw him involved in all these other organizations, and I think they understood it.
The Fatherhood Project is that rock in the pond that ripples out and creates that spread of generosity and that spread of benefit to the rest of the community, one person at a time.
He's very sentimental and thoughtful and generous with his time, and we have been the beneficiaries of that. Hi, George. Just want to say congratulations. We're so thrilled that you got this award, and you're so deserving of it. Our family has just been blessed with all these years. I love you very much.
Thanks for everything in my life. You gave me a lot of what I needed in life to be, you know, the man I am today, which I can be proud of. So I just want to thank you for always being there for us.
And so Dad, congratulations. I'm so proud of you and we love you so much.
Dad, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done, both for me and for everyone that you've touched in your life. You are a great and generous human being, and I'm a far better person for it. Thank you, and I love you.
Hey Grandpa, I love you so much. Thank you for all that you've done for me and Addie. And I'm hoping that I can be not exactly like you, but of course a little bit like you.
Hi Grandpa, I love you.
And congratulations, we love you.
Congratulations, we love you.
Now we would like your help in presenting this award to our grandpa, George Vincent.
I didn't expect that, not exactly, like, really? First, that was a great video. Thank you, everybody. Before I start my formal remarks, I want to thank Talbot House and the Fatherhood Committee for considering for this remarkable honor. I'm going to try and talk slowly. If I go too fast, start waving, because I talk really fast. Okay, thank you, Laura. I want to acknowledge the past honorees who are here. Don, good to see you. They've remarkable legacy, remarkable people who've been honored for this award before, and I'm honored to be a part of that group. In addition, I want to thank all of you for your attendance and your presence. I'm blessed by both of those. Finally, most importantly, I want to thank my wife, Kim, my children, Doug, Dan, and Laura. Two of whom are here. You saw them. My boys are here. My two grandchildren, Liam and Addie, thank you. Most of all, Kim, boys, and Laura, you made me a father, so I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. So when I was asked to consider this award, I called Kim, and I said, you know, you're thoughtful, you're perceptive. What do you think? And she said in a tone not quite this deep, seriously? I've been in therapy. So with that ringing endorsement, I called the experts on this. I called my 3 children. I said, if you have any hesitancy, I'll decline the honor. So no one said anything directly. Nobody laughed. So I stand before you today. I'm happy and blessed to have a chance to speak to you. So I want my remarks to reflect only my perspective. So if I'm repetitive, other speakers or pundits, I apologize. These are my thoughts. So I'm going to give some initial thoughts and then hopefully pull it together at the end. They gave me 7 to 10 minutes. I'm going to do it in less. First, in thinking of my remarks, I kept returning to the notion that one size does not fit all when it comes to parenthood, fatherhood, whatever you want to call it. Every father is the product to some extent of his father, of his grandfathers, and on and up the chain. We all carry part of that with us. And we can all think of examples of wonderful adults who are raised by terrible parents and lousy kids who are raised by great parents. And I guess my wife's brother comes to my mind when I think of that. So, when it's supposed to be funny, actually, it's going to be kind of sad at the end. But Kim's brother was actually a really good father. So, wow. So, Kim's brother and his wife, they adopted 2 children. They couldn't have children. They adopted a boy and a girl. And he was an exemplary father. The father he always thought his dad wasn't and should have been. It was really important that he be a caring, involved father. He and his wife provided Benjamin, our nephew, with religious schooling for 12 years, deeply involved in his life, shared activities, wielded a steady hand at all times. While we all enjoyed spending time with Benjamin, he was troubled. And he's now serving a second long prison sentence in California, which is tragic. But here's a wonderful father who ends up with a really difficult child. And Donnie, to his credit, visits him in prison on every month. It's hard, but so behind every good father stand good children. So Doug, Dan, thank you for being good children. Laura, in absentia. Guess you didn't care. Hope that's not being recorded. Just kidding, Laura. Second, as I think back in my performance as a dad, I immediately go to times where I fell short. I'm going to get a little emotional if I apologize. You know, when I raised my voice when I shouldn't have, when I said not now, and then now never came, you get too busy. When I didn't take a concern seriously enough, when I wasn't as thoughtful as I should have been. We all heard the popular no regrets mantra. Well, I think every father lives with regrets for what might have been, what could have been, what should have been. I know I do. So Doug and Dan, I apologize for the times I fell short. I feel badly for that. You can disagree with me, please. Go ahead. So third, as we raised our children, I tried to prioritize our marriage. Besides generally being pretty easy to do, well, most of the time, it seemed to me that the loving and supportive relationship with Kim was a way to model to our children what a relationship should be, and that a strong and supportive marriage would be good for our children. Not everyone is blessed with a partner who shares their perspective on life, but when you are, you need to prioritize that relationship. We've prioritized our time together and seemingly put several babysitters through college. Still get thank you notes, a little late. Okay. Fourth point, I was surprised how different our 3 children are and were. I know they shouldn't have been, but I was. Each child had different needs, different interests, different perspectives, different strengths. As parents, we try to imprint ourselves, knowingly and unknowingly, onto our children in the hope that they'll be like us and at the same time better than us. However, the realization of how different 3 children can be led me to accept the fact and meet them as they were, not as I wanted them to be. Try to do it while maintaining actual and, more importantly, apparent fairness. As everyone here knows, that's really tough to do. Doug and Dan, hope I came close. 5th, the tension between wanting to help your children while at the same time allowing them to be independent must be acknowledged. How much responsibility do you require at home and at what age? How often do you visit college? What are your behavioral expectations? This may have been the most challenging aspect of parenting. Letting go and trusting your child to make the right choice is difficult. We all know that. Harking back to my early comment, one size doesn't fit all. Each child has a different need for independence. So, shifting my focus to the man I love, to me. That was a joke. The man I loved, me. Okay. I had 2 profound male influences in my life. First and most obviously, my own dad. Dwight Vincent was born and raised in Akron, Ohio, but moved to Michigan for college and never returned to Ohio. He went to the University of Michigan, both for undergrad and law school. He was active in politics, loved history and reading history, loved the movies, liked practicing law, and a strong work ethic. Nothing like me at all, which is good. My dad was an attorney in Detroit and was consistent and very measured in his life. I rarely saw him angry. I didn't see him swear until I was 13. He made up for it at that time, but it's a long story I'll tell you later. He could be gregarious, but that was not his natural state. I think he was happiest when he was either reading or writing about World War II. Thousands of pages he wrote, and literally 1,000 books in his library on World War II. My mom gave me a great deal of independence and freedom, and that's exactly what I needed. My mom's father, Louis Stein, my second influence, was quite different from my dad. He was bigger than life, a large man physically with a big sense of humor, a magnetic personality, and an entrepreneurial spirit. He had 2 daughters, 4 granddaughters, and just 1 grandson, which put me in a wonderful place. Many of my best memories are being with him, including when we spent 6 weeks driving to and from Alaska together when I was 13. I had a morning paper route. When it snowed, he'd drive 12 miles to help me deliver those papers in his 70s. And he was always there when I needed him. He loved Kim. I can't tell you how important he was to me. I was an outsized priority in his life, and his influence on me was profound. So beyond the genetic encoding with which I was born, these 2 men shaped me into the man and the father that I became. So where do these disparate thoughts lead? Joseph Epstein, one of my favorite authors, in his recent autobiography, made an interesting observation. I'm going to quote, "What do boys and young men want from their fathers? For the most part, I think we want what they can't give us. A painless transmission of wisdom, a key to life's mysteries, the secret to happiness," end quote. I think he's right. Every father strives to accomplish that, to be a good father, but as Epstein points out, none of us can deliver what we really want to deliver, what people really want from us. Thus, we're left to do the best we can, striving to live a life of example for our children, telling them and showing them that we love them, pushing them toward independence and families of their own, all the while worrying about them every single day. That, to me, is fatherhood. Thank you again for this remarkable honor, for your attendance, your attention to my remarks, and for all you do for Talbot House. Thank you.